Your date of birth could be completely made up, and nobody would know. Greetings gamers and welcome back to Top 10 Gaming. I'm your host Carl Monroe, and if everybody dies, nobody cares. Scott Cawthon rarely confirms fan theories. He even won't directly confirm MatPat theories, but he has confirmed things indirectly before, and on one very rare occasion said that something was right. That's what we're exploring with today's list of the top 10 Fnaf fan theories that were actually right. Subscribe if you haven't yet for daily gaming content, and hit that like button if you love Fnaf. Now, roll the intro. At 10, the puppet origins. Ever since FNAF 2, we've been introduced to the puppet. We were trying to solve the question of how this puppet came to be. First, we thought it was the girl Afton murdered in the Take Cake minigame, and then we thought that it was the crying child from FNAF 4. However, the original theory was actually confirmed in FNAF 6 with the security puppet minigame's secret ending, where we as the puppet are looking for a child with a specifically colored bracelet who ends up showing up outside the pizzeria. We make our way out to her, but when we get there, she is already dead, killed by Afton on his way home from killing Susie, since we know that Chica was first and has seen everything. We crawl over to this girl, soaked and broken because of the rain, and we lay with her, then merge with her. And so Charlotte, the daughter of William's business partner Henry, merges her soul with the puppet in order to give gifts and give life to the others so that they can end William Afton's killing spree. I actually think that all of the minigames required for the Lore Keeper ending in FNAF 6 are a sequence of events that happen in one day. Willie kills Susie in the Fruity Maze minigame, luring her away with the promise of her dead dog being alive, then while on his way home stops at Fredbear Family Diner but sees Charlotte and kills her like we see in the Security Puppet minigame, and then heads home later that night as we see in the Midnight Motorist game, which is actually named later that night in the game files if you didn't know. And at 9, Cassidy. The mysterious identity of Golden Freddy has been bothering us for the better part of a decade, so it's obvious that finding the name of the child who possesses him would be a grand challenge. Well, in the security logbook we found that challenge. A whole book dedicated to revealing the identity of the one you should not have killed. In the book there are numbers constantly out of place, and each page that has numbers incorrect also has faded text saying my name. However, this isn't Michael writing, since he writes in red, so obviously it must be someone else. Something else. Golden Freddy. Putting the number clues together, we get 5, 2, 3, 9, 1, 5, 7, 2, 10, 11, and 8, 11. Which, as user DPowerful1 on Reddit pointed out, if you use those numbers as coordinates in the word search, you can spell out the name Cassidy. This was shown to be correct with the constant use of Golden Freddy's signature line of "It's me" used over and over in that word search, plus now that line of "It's me" makes a hell of a lot more sense. It's me, the one you shouldn't have killed. Cassidy was also mentioned by name in the final FNAF novel, The Fourth Closet, described as a girl with black hair, and the only human child in the logbook is a girl with black hair, being given cake by the puppet who is trying to give her her happiest day as suggested by the question on that same page, but also relating to the happiest day minigame where we try and settle Golden Freddy's soul. And at 8, the websites have conversations. Over the years, the way we found clues to the lore of these games has evolved. It started with reading newspaper articles on walls, then moved to analyzing minimum wage payments, and even went so deep as to investigate the real name of a teaser image using Notepad. But on the way to these extreme lengths, we started investigating the source code of Scott Cawthon's website. It started with the numbers 8 and 7 appearing multiple times, which led people to think it was about the bite of 87, as well as finding a restaurant on Google Maps everyone thought was the inspiration for Freddy's. One fan even went so far as to comment, "I saw a robot fox killing kids in there," even before anyone knew about it. But they also rated it 5 stars, so I guess they were probably lying. However, in between the release of Sister Location and FNAF 6, Scott's main two websites, ScottGames.com and FNAFWorld.com, had an argument where Baby basically got voted off the Ennard Island, hence why she and Molten Freddy are separate again in FNAF 6. The theme of the website's talking has been used again. Recently it had a conversation with itself on Scott Games, where someone, presumably Vanny, the new killer, is talking to Afton, or the voice in her head suggested by the conversation we hear between the mask and Glitchtrap in Help Wanted. And at 7, William Afton is Glitchtrap. While this may not have been confirmed by Scott Cawthon yet, in my opinion it's basically been confirmed. While everyone assumed that the character in the game files known as Spring Bonnie Man was William Afton due to his similar costume and the name in the game files, it was mostly just a well-supported theory and speculation. However, with the Curse of Dreadbear DLC, it has basically been confirmed. While in the main hub for the DLC, you can see the house from FNAF 4's menu on the horizon, and if you complete a series of tasks in blacklight mode, you can actually spawn Glitchtrap dancing on top of the hill near the FNAF 4 house. While this in and of itself could be enough, I think the real kicker is the car. The way you get this Easter egg is by pressing the button on the monitor and then looking at the car for 10 seconds. And it has to be the car, just looking away won't do it. Before you do this, however, the car's lights are white, like normal headlights. However, after the Easter egg is activated and you return to normal mode, the car's headlights change to purple. Scott always makes it a point to clarify things in his next game, and this is his way of showing us that Glitchtrap is none other than Purple Guy himself, William Afton. The car headlights are purple. What more do you want? It's probably his car from Midnight Motorist. And at 6, Afton is in hell. Ultimate Custom Night is one hell of a challenge, but the fact that this game got picked apart so quickly is shocking, but also understandable, since every time you die in this game, you get a line of dialogue revealing more hints about the lore, and you die a lot in this game. Especially if you're going for that secret ending, with like 49 animatronics all at level 20. Jeez. But these lines hint that we are somewhere that won't allow us to die permanently, only over and over, and somewhere that our character is not liked. Obviously we play as Afton, since even Nightmare Fredbear himself says these people aren't our friends, and Afton is the only character that deserves hell, like Henry says in the final moments of Pizzeria Simulator.
Although for one of you, the darkest pit of hell has opened to swallow you whole, so don't keep the devil waiting, old friend.
That old friend is obviously William, since it was accompanied by the image of Springtrap burning, who is William, not Michael. Halfway through number 5, Fnaf World Clues. Admittedly, this wasn't really a theory, just more of a good eye, but after the main story of FNAF World was discovered, where you find the clock and put the pieces in place for the player in FNAF 3, people figured out what that was fairly quickly. Sure, it had come out after FNAF 3 and everyone picked it to shreds, but it's still awesome to see a community working together so well to put something so weird and at the time so convoluted together to make sense of a game that at that point was 3 games old. And if we can do that quickly, it was fairly obvious that we were going to do that in the future. To be fair, we didn't know why or how we were setting these things up until later, but now that the sentient game code affecting the real world is canon in the games, I think the fact that another plane of existence where the at-peace children were staying to give you the ability to destroy the man who put them there is fairly evident. At least that's what I think. The kids who didn't possess anything ended up going to that plane and they were helping bring the others there, but that's not confirmed, so I don't know why I'm talking about it. And at 4, the crying child. When everyone was talking about Michael Afton being on a mission to atone for his father's sins, I thought they were talking about the crying child originally. Hence why I would always be so confused and only really got into FNAF when I was able to be explained with Remnant and him being a machine, which is weird because that somehow explained it. I didn't know that everyone thought that the gray-shirted guy who threw Michael into Fredbear was actually Michael. So I guess one of my theories was technically right. Even though it was just confusion and me not really listening or understanding, but later on it did get clarified and I changed my view. But then it got revealed that he was the crying child in the security logbook with the lines "the party was for you" and "was your favorite ride the carousel." The main one being "the party was for you," indicating that Michael was the child who got shoved into Fredbear at his own party and got crushed when his tears moistened the spring locks. Pretty freaking crazy. Just like this whole series. And at 3, Michael is not Springtrap. After MatPat made his video about the FNAF timeline, where he put everything he could together into as cohesive of a story as he could, Scott actually decided to confirm a few things for us about that video, saying, quote, "For those of you who were really upset about the idea of Mike Trap, or upset about the idea of Purple Guy being literally purple, or hung up on the 1983 versus 1987, watch MatPat's video." And since in that video MatPat says that William is indeed Springtrap, and provides all the evidence for such, you can all abandon the idea of Mike Trap. It's not happening. Scrap Trap is not Michael. Springtrap is not Michael. Drop it. And a 2, FNAF 4 date. Using the same quote as last time, Scott confirmed saying that MatPat was right about the whole 1983 versus 1987 debate. And in that video, MatPat also talks about the fact that FNAF 4 takes place in 1983 as indicated by the television Easter egg and the secret cameras and sister location using the keypad combination of 1983, 1983, with the camera showed the different areas you play in during FNAF 4, Plushtrap's Hall, Michael's bed, and the closet that Foxy and Mangle decide to assault. So basically, MatPat got almost everything right in that video. Scott also said it's obviously not 100%, but he really hits this video out of the park. Now it's only a matter of figuring out what he got wrong so we can fix it. Let's do it together. Yeah. Team power. Finally, in at number 1, William Afton is Purple Guy. This is an oldie, but a goodie. The character at first only known as Purple Guy has gone by a lot of different names. Purple Guy, the Phone Guy, Vincent, the Killer, Pink Guy. However, way back in 2016, MatPat predicted the name reveal of William Afton thanks to his mention in the Silver Eyes novel. Then once Sister Location came out and the name of Afton was dropped, he was fairly clearly happy about it. I would be too. If one of my theories about these godforsaken games ends up being correct, I may lose my mind. So while the fans of these games wanted to dismiss the books and treat them as an entirely separate canon, you can't do that entirely. Sure, some things are different, like his first victim being Henry's son Sam in the book, but in the games it's Susie, and the names of the original 5 children being different, it's still important to consider them when crafting theories. So while you may hate on MatPat or hell, even hate the books for that matter, one of the biggest reveals in the game came from him and those books. So, take a chill pill, relax, and remember that it's just a theory. A theory that you don't have to believe until it turns out to be true. So don't hate, appreciate the effort that people go to in these kinds of videos. Jeez, don't hate. There's no point. Worst thing is that he's right, or that he's wrong. Who cares? There we have it, friends, the top 10 FNAF fan theories that were actually right. Which theories did you see when they came out, and do you have any of your own? Let me know below, and on your way down, be sure you hit like and subscribe for daily gaming content, and ring that bell to join the clan and level up. Thank you all so much for watching. I have been and shall remain Connor Monroe, and I'll see you in another video.